Are you alright?
Got it.
Good? Good. You're,
I'll deal with this.
You're gonna start sawing.
Gently fingering my leg bindings.
You're gonna try to claw your way out with your diamond edge. So you start to scratch at that. It's been 5 more minutes since I last told you. It had been 45 minutes, so it's been 50 minutes since you started prepping.
Effectively halfway done.
Okay. Just keeping track of that, sorry.
I did hallucinate a face in the wall, though.
You did what?
Well, the amulet glowed, and then there was a face in the wall.
Well, I suppose there's an underground toxin in here. Hallucinating faces.
Well, the amulet is the thing that makes... I don't...
The amulet?
Yeah.
That's the one that the shaman gave you?
Yes.
Is it a spirit?
Maybe. I couldn't talk to it. It was just a face, and then it went away.
Well, what did you do to try to talk to it?
I talked into the amulet.
Brother!
What?
But you can't just talk into an amulet. You have to communicate with the spirit itself.
How?
Talk to the spirit!
It went away. It went woo.
What kind of spirit was it?
A big-eyed one.
Was there any indication of what? Could it be the mud?
It was in the webbing.
Do you think it's a web spirit?
I don't know. I couldn't begin to guess.
Alright. So you're etching away. And you do that for about 5 more minutes. When you hear a scurrying noise coming from one of the other adjoining passageways.
Oh, dang it all. Gosh darn it.
Charm is crouched next to you. And she gets a spell ready.
I'll be out of here in no time.
Good. You notice that the scurrying noise is not coming from one passageway, but multiple passageways.
But you still might want to fight.
Oh, you don't say. Up top, Brontis calls to you. I think he killed the spider, then he went back down. It's probably safe now.
That's good, I suppose.
Yeah. Meanwhile, down below.
I think everything's gonna be okay. Scritcha, scritcha, scritcha. Trying to get out of leg ties.
Brill and Charm.
Everything's gonna be alright for the Reisender family.
Oh boy!
You get my wife killed.
I'm not gonna get your wife killed.
1 second. So, it's not long before a spider comes in sight. You see that Charm has a spell held.
Yeah.
From the little tiny static dancing on her fingers. By the way, when you fell, the lamp went out and got smashed. But Charm has a light on her staff,
Okay.
which is why you can see right now.
Okay.
Can I get an earful from Mom?
Yeah. But
Lamp oxen, which is more
she's
expensive.
got lightning dancing on her fingers. You think she's probably got a lightning bolt.
Okay.
It comes to the bottom of the tunnel, and it sort of scurries there, making weird spider noises. You can still hear the sort of click-clack of spider legs coming from different tunnels, but this is the only one currently in sight. Shh, kill it now, she whispers to you.
How far am I in getting through my legs?
1/4 of the way.
Oh, okay.
It's a slow process to cut things with your...
Why don't you wait until there's more of them and lightning bolt all of them at the same time?
Okay, she says nervously. Lightning bolts in enclosed chambers are not particularly,
Safe?
well, I mean, we'll probably be fine.
That's probably fine.
Alright, if you think it's probably fine.
I think it'll all work out.
Okay. Pretty soon another spider appears and another. They're all at different points around the chamber. They're not attacking yet, they just sort of seem agitated. Just gonna sit there scritching.
I mean, If you can work a good angle on it, now might be a good time.
Alright. You tell her to let it fly.
Yeah.
1 second.
Go right ahead.
I actually already know this. Just need to check her HD. There we go. Alright.
Have every faith in your sister.
Here's a fresh shot. Just say next to creatures. But neither of them die of it. Here we go.
Alright.
Alright. And as soon as the lightning bolt flies and stacks into the two that she hit, one of those two makes a terrified sound and immediately disappears up the passageway. The one that she didn't hit, however, springs forward, its closest target being where you are on the ground rather than where Charm is.
Alright.
Because of that, it attacks you, and your Thaco is 1. It actually successfully hits you.
My AC is 1.
That's what I meant to say.
That's fine.
AC, and instead I said Thaco because I'm an idiot. And it actually does hit you, for once.
Well, kudos to you having 1 Thaco.
I know, right?
I know, right? It deals 1 damage, and I need you to roll a saving throw versus poison.
Oh. Passed. Beat that 16.
Alright.
Fuckers.
The exact area around the bite feels a little numb, but nothing serious.
Ow. Whack it.
Whack it. Alright, that brings us to initiative.
Yeah.
Okay. Your legs are not free yet, by the way.
Okay. I don't have to fight it without legs.
Okay. From a seated position, it shall be.
Very well, monster. Have at you.
Charm. Sorry, I just have to figure out Charm's action. Oh dear.
Oh dear. Charm will not be going fast, incidentally. Because I rolled a 6.
Alright, so what will your action be? There's one right next to you, so you can't attack it.
Stab and stab.
Stab two-handed?
Yep.
Bringing your initiative 2?
6 and 8.
6 and 8. Your 6 attack goes first. Actually, both of your attacks go first, so you might as well just roll them both.
Ah. There's a 7 and 12. There's a... Do I still have minuses?
No minuses from this one, it's not on
Modified 20.
you. 7 and a 20. The 7 is a miss, the 20 is a hit.
Ah.
Which weapon hit with the 20?
The rapier.
Rapier, go ahead.
I rolled them in the order they go. For that's 6 damage.
Alright, you strike the creature, and it makes a gargling noise at you, scurrying back a short distance. Charm then looses another lightning bolt. It's really her only attack spell. What? Oh, that was the noise.
Yeah. Spider attack.
She doesn't attack the one that's on you because she probably hit you as well. She attacks the other one that was just starting to charge. And it survives being struck, but was already mid-leap towards her.
Okay.
Which brings us to the spider's attack. The one that's on you attempts to bite you again, but it is not able to get past your thick armor. They're chewing on chainmail. They just can't get past it.
It's a tough time for spiders.
Tough time for spiders. And the other one jumps at Charm, whose AC is nowhere near as good as yours, but it still misses her. She manages to sidestep its leap, bringing us to the fresh initiative.
Okay. Maybe I can roll a better... I did! I rolled a 3.
Slopes spiders ever. A 3, you say?
Yep. So I go on a 3 and a 5, and I want to... I would very much like to throw my sword breaker at the spider that is fighting her.
Okay. Do you want to throw?
Yeah.
Alright, so bring in your initiative too.
3 and 5.
3 and 5. Sorry, you said that already, didn't you?
Yeah, it's okay though.
Alright, the 3 goes first.
Alright, let's see if I can throw a sword breaker half as good as I think I can. I fucking can too. 16!
16. It's a successful hit. Go ahead and roll the damage of that attack.
Alright. Have at you, fucker. That's. Oh, that's. Yeah, that is the right one. That's 3.
You peg the creature and it dies.
Take that, bitch!
And Charm, who had just whipped out a knife to stab it, sort of starts to hack at a dead body and then cheers for your amazing strike.
Fucking nice! Now I fight this thing over here
Bringing
still.
us to your attack with the rapier. You hack the sword breaker, you stab
Boom.
the other one. Go for it.
This is what I do. That's a 13.
A 13. That's a hit.
That's a hit? Okay, good. I didn't think it was. Wow. That's 8 damage.
8. It dies.
Boom! Boom!
Dead.
Take that, spiders. Screech, 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 screech.
Your sister hugs you. And then she goes over to the tunnel that the one escaped down. She peers up it just to make sure that the
Wonder if we should be
creature's not
harvesting spider parts to repay your mother for the lamp I've broken.
Well, sure. Why don't we start hacking that up?
Alright.
Mm.
Scritcha, scritcha.
So Charm starts looking around the mucky floor and also checking the spiders over to see if there's any useful parts. You realize as she's checking the spiders that she doesn't have any idea what she's looking for. She sort of picks it up and turns it around and then puts it back down and shrugs. Your sister's never been much for butchering dead things. Do you have any skills to that regard?
Probably not. Identify plants, animals in pure water. Fishing. Fishing lets you gut fish.
Yeah. Now, does your character have any ideas of parts that you think would be useful?
Parts that... This is red, so that's probably venomous. I'm a woods person, I know that enough. So, potentially venom glands, potentially the stuff that comes out of its ass.
Alright.
If there's spider meat, that might be a thing. Like a crab, like a soft-shell crab.
Alright, why don't we just bring the bodies up and see if Carolyn has anything to say about it.
Sure. Scritcha.
It takes about 10 more minutes before you're able to get your legs completely free.
Aha! Now to go get my various things from around the room.
10 more minutes have passed. You go and you pick up your sword breaker, go and find your lamp. You think that it's probably reparable.
Oh, that's good. I won't be killed.
Charm's staff only gives a really faint glow, so she's essentially holding it really close to things to try to get a better look at them. And you notice that she's sifting through the gunk at the bottom of this passage.
I mean, it would make sense if they've killed people down here before, there might be some loot.
Do you want to sift through the gunk as well, or do you want to leave it to her?
I'm going to go try to commune with the spirit.
Alright, have fun.
Alright.
Remember, talk to it, not to an inanimate object.
Alright.
Alright. Go back into the same tunnel.
Yeah.
You start climbing up. And it's not long before your amulet does start resonating again.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, spirit. Are you there?
Wait. You can roll a charisma check.
Hello. Is anyone home? It's me, Brilliance. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 7. Passed by 7.
That's by 7. weird face sort of peers out of the webbing again. It's like a shadow with stringy wisps breaking off of it and vanishing into the air.
Hello. You a web spirit.
It opens its mouth, sort of sticky gaps and tendrils, like someone who is drooling excessively.
Huh.
You can see all the strands connecting top to bottom.
Fascinating.
And it's white inside, even though it seems to be shadowy everywhere else. And it does indeed remind you of the webbing. It says,
Fascinating. I have no idea what I meant to do to commune with you.
it starts to scurry out of the wall, and it moves in a spider-like way, but it's a humanoid spirit entity, kind of like a tiny person, who,
Oh.
if it stood up, would be about 4 feet tall.
Alright
It
then.
scurries along the surface of the web and makes a few more hissing noises at you.
That's probably mad at me because I messed with all its spider friends.
What do you want to do?
I have a question, little web spirit person. Are you able to make webs sticky and not sticky? Because if you can make them not sticky, we'd very much like to get the oxen free and then just get out of your way.
It sort of peers upwards, then it crawls.
Oh, and the child. The child in a different web. That also we would like to get. And then we'll just get out of your hair.
It crawls over to you and gets really up into your personal space.
Hello.
You're not climbing in the spot you are, but you're on a very steep incline, sort of holding onto the wall.
Yeah.
And it seems to have no problem with walls and things. And it comes over to you and it stands right by your foot and looks like it's sniffing you. If it was an animal, you'd say it was smelling you, though you don't hear any sniffing noises
Well,
coming
this is
from
fine.
it. It says.
Hello.
It starts to paw toward the amulet that you're wearing.
Yes, this is how I communicate with you, supposedly. Dialogue, back and forth, as it were.
Its weird glowing eyes get a little wider.
I'm not really sure how much of what I'm saying you particularly understand.
It scurries up the webs a little.
Alright. So I'm gonna try and follow it.
Okay. You have to roll
Lord,
climb walls.
Lord, bring it in. Climb walls. Oh, did not pass that.
Okay. So you can roll the dex
All right.
instead.
Pass that by a fuck ton. 14.
You're able to follow it a bit. It scurries ahead of you. This seems to be what it wanted.
Yeah.
Um,
So?
you get up to as high as you can with dexterity.
Yeah.
Sort of clinging onto the walls, you can't get any higher. You can see the oxen's legs way up above again. You're not as high as you were when you fought the spider initially.
Yeah.
This
This
it
is
scurries ahead and then it scurries back, and it does this a few times.
this is about as high as I can get, old sport. I really can't go a lot higher.
It crawls in a circle around you and gives you a look of confusion or skepticism.
Well, it's there was more motivation before. There was a thing to fight. I can't. Would you like to give me a hand? If you help, I can get higher.
It gets really, really close to your face, and it opens its mouth very wide and it starts to inhale. And you feel very drained suddenly.
Oh,
and
that's
then
not helping at all.
You can either choose to roll a saving throw, or you can allow it to drain you.
Let's allow this.
You know,
Allow it. I'll allow it.
Okay. Minus 500 points of experience off of your character sheet.
Okay. Thankfully, I have that.
You're suddenly able to scurry up the wall with no issue.
Yeah.
Follow it.
Yep.
Okay, you get up to the top.
Oh, that worked lovely. Thank you.
Points up to the sticky webbing.
All right. Yes, this. You breathe on it. Okay. I breathe. What?
Makes gestures. It points to its mouth. It wants something from you.
So if you do that again, you can unsticky the webbing for me. And then we can go. This one and the child, though. And then we'll go.
Your character is sort of aware of what was lost. You kind of forgot something when it did that to you.
Yeah.
It wasn't a pleasant experience.
No.
So, knowing that Bianca already has a plan to free
Yeah.
them from the webs, would you commit to such a thing?
No, I think we're quite all right, thank you.
It starts to scurry back down.
I mean, I appreciate it and everything. I'll just climb down also.
If you're able to scurry, you realize.
Oh.
You stick into the webs, you're able to go upside down, you can hold on with one hand, you can sort of stand up off the wall.
Oh, just sideways.
Take
Oh,
a
this
sideways stroll.
this would have been lovely
Spend 20
before.
more minutes.
How long does this last for?
It says,
Oh, that long, eh?
do you want to head back down?
Yeah, sure. Walking sideways.
Okay, you should go that way.
Who knows how long I'll be able to keep this up? So I might as well.
Down to the chamber where Charm is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Walking on the ceiling.
How did you do that?
I communed with a spirit.
And it made you walk on walls?
Well, apparently. And we went to go chat about the oxen, but it wanted to
The
suck me.
spirits follow you down here.
Oh, hello. There it is.
Where? Charm doesn't seem to be able to see it.
Oh.
Where?
That's just a happy little chappy over here.
Oh. Alright. That's amazing.
Isn't it, though? Alright,
I
come.
didn't find anything in the muck.
No? Coming down.
Okay. You just stroll down the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. You can get back down.
I will also check the general area, I suppose, just in case.
Go ahead and roll a wisdom check to search.
I will shit at it. I was shit at it. I failed by 1.
Oh,
I
you
find
don't
Dick all.
anything.
Alright, time to haul these spider corpses out of here.
Alright. Do you want to carry them? Since Charm needs to really focus on, slowly gooping her way.
Yeah, and I'll take them out of here, only a couple at a time if I have to. But I can.
There's
Max drag is 780.
There's only 3 corpses.
Yeah.
They're not, well, they are big, but,
They're Rottweiler sized.
yeah. Rottweiler's about 80 to 100 pounds, or is that
Yeah.
too much?
No, that's
That's
on the light
accurate?
side.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's on the light side.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rottweiler can be. I've known Rottweilers who were 160.
Well, these aren't actually as dense as a
Yeah, because they're
Rottweiler is.
carapacine stuff.
So what's your max drag?
780.
Yeah, you grab 3 legs.
Yeah.
And you just drag them up the slick mud.
Is the little fella following me?
Yes, it is. It scurries along after you, continuing to make hissing noises at you.
What is it? What do you want? No.
Like that's enough, okay?
No.
You say no. It scurries after you.
No.
It scurries back down the hole and leaves you.
Alright, goodbye then.
Vanishing into the webbing.
Thank you
Soon
for your help, though.
emerge into daylight once more with Charm clawing her way through the mud behind you.
Just hold on to a spider.
Onto the muck. That was awful. You hear your wife yelling off from the side of the woods.
Is everything alright?
We fought spiders. I'm covered in mud and filth and detritus, and it's awful.
I have dead spiders. Big dead spiders.
Okay.
And I talked to a spirit briefly.
How's your spell prep?
Well, use more and then we
It's been 10 more minutes, so just 18 more minutes to done. Alright. Do you want to bring the corpses over to
Yep.
Grandma?
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
What are we supposed to do with these?
I don't know. Hack them up and sell
What
bits
did
of
you
them,
do
I
to
suppose.
my lamp?
Fell down a tunnel with it.
Ugh. 1 second, I have to check skills.
Dice them up and sell them, I suppose.
I doubt anyone will want spider meat. Nope, not Dunstan. I need Brontus. What do you got, Brontus? Nothing. Nothing useful. Does anybody have butchering? Right?
It's something that you can't get unless you get it with a secondary skill.
Yep, that's what I was checking.
Yeah.
Well, you can take butchering. It comes from hunting.
Oh. No, I just have fishing.
I've got my alchemy and my brewing medicine, so I might be able to do something with the poison and stuff. But
So do you want to wait out until
Might as well have everybody have a look at them since I.
your spell is now prepared? Would you like to try to cut everyone out of the webbing? Your flame blade would be extremely successful in this, since flame blade can catch things on fire, but like not immediately. Or if it does start to catch, you're able to put it out. You're able to slice through the webbing with the blade. You cut through it. You get current out first. Then you go and you get poor Brontus's hand out, and
probably
then
should tie up the oxen and then pull and cut.
unless you want to get Brilliance to stand by the oxen the whole time, because Brilliance's ability is semi-magical, and the animal won't panic if you pay constant attention to it.
But it's
Which I can
partially
do.
in a hole, right? So if we cut it free, won't it just fall further down into more?
That's
webbing?
entirely possible, which is why you want Brontus to be leading it out of the hole at the same time. Do you want to do that, or do you want to actually restrain it?
Well, I was more meaning we could drag it.
Okay, I gotcha.
If we don't have to do that, then I suppose we don't necessarily need to drag it out.
It would take some time, but with the casting of the flame blade, you are able to cut the oxen out as well. And soon it's back up on the surface, whether you use the rope or not.
Yay.
Do you want? You can use your alchemy skill to examine the spiders if you'd like.
Sure.
Roll an intelligence check.
That is what alchemy is. Passed.
You think you might be able to harvest the poison sacs, but it would be very difficult and likely to. It's very easy to damage them and make them useless. Would you like to try to do that?
Sure.
Okay.
As well.
You have to roll an intelligence check with a detriment of 5 for every of the spiders, so 3 of them.
No on the first one. Natural 1 on the second one, so
So
I
yes.
definitely get it out. And yes, on the last one, but not a natural 1.
You milk the venom into a vial, essentially. You're able to get 2 vials of venom from the one you're able to milk.
Do I notice Brilliance's bite?
I have an owie. That's how I knew they had venom.
Does it have any residual poison that needs to be dealt with?
No, it doesn't seem to have many effects. Nothing that you think is spreading. It doesn't seem very hot or swollen or feverish.
Well, I just meant that I can use the big one to potentially make a cure for it.
Maybe nope, it doesn't seem to be something you can work with.
Alright.
Okay.
Seeing if I can apply my fishing to these things and get any meat off them since we don't have any fish.
Alright.
Fillet a spider.
Yeah.
Brontus is getting the animal rehitched and calmed and etc. And while all this was going on, Carolyn put some lunch together for everyone. And so you all sit down to eat. Grandma recommends trying to boil their legs in the big pot and seeing if any of the meat is
See if they are actually like crabs.
see if it's like a
Crab
crab.
is just the spider of the sea.
We'll give it a try then.
Alright,
I'll taste it.
Alright, I will.
Great.
Help her get dressed.
Alright.
She's got spider pants.
She's sticky everywhere.
She's got spider pants.
I got spider pants.
Let's get you your spider pants, sweetheart.
Okay. You peel all the sticky webbing. Alright. So,
La la la.
well,
Boiling legs.
boiling spider legs in a big pot over a fire. Alright. With the danger of spiders overcome, you all enjoy a nice meal of vegetables from the wagon and spider legs, which are not very delicious. But you add a little bit of spice to them and they go down fine.
There you go.
After the animals have had a chance to rest a little bit, Brontes says they're probably ready to get underway. And you set off down the road once more.
Let's continue to be very careful.
Yes, maybe a little more careful than we were last time, don't you think?
Maybe.
Ugh.
I mean, the one was being as careful as one could under the circumstances. I didn't fall in the hole.
You're supposed to be looking for pitfalls! You know, the word pitfall? Brontes is not playing. Alright. You scout ahead once more.
I wouldn't joke with it.
For several further days, you're on the road, traveling towards the village of... I lost it. Junesburg.
I was like Junebug.
Junebug. Did you want to... Oh, before you left, did you want to tell anyone about your spirit encounter?
Yeah,
Okay.
I talked to a web spirit. Then it sucked on my breath, and then I could climb around pretty good.
It sucked on your what?
Breath.
Oh.
And then, accent. and then I could climb around pretty good, and then it wanted to do it again a lot. I said no. And,
Sounds like it was trying to make a pact with you, dear.
probably. Didn't much like it the first time it did it, so didn't prefer to do it again.
It's interesting, because it's... I know these amulets are supposed to make it easier, but that sounds
Yeah, that was
very easy.
chatted with it, and then wanted to climb the wall, and I wasn't good at climbing the wall, so it sucked my breath, and then up we went.
Sucked your breath,
Yeah,
and up you went.
up I
Can you
went.
still go up?
I'll give it a try.
You're able to walk up the side of a tree.
Yes, is the answer.
I want to try. She runs into the tree.
Alright, so that's still a thing. I don't know how long that'll be a thing, but it's still a thing. Who knew?
Well, if the spider spirit is staying behind, presumably it'll go away after we get far enough away that whatever minor pact you made with it is severed.
Right. Presumably.
And since it doesn't sound like you made a proper pact, it may not be very far at all.
No.
Alright.
So I wouldn't, continue crawling on things all day.
It's only a few hours later that you notice that the
I can't do it
climbing
anymore.
is worn off.
Cool.
But it still seems to have been a fairly powerful effect. As soon as the effects wear off, you regain that 500 points.
Neat. There, I still could have done it then, and it wouldn't have hurt me any. You can keep just a little pool sitting around though to just make minor little deals with it.
Alright. So you stroll off through the woods once more.
Animals
So
and pitfalls.
it's about 5 more days on down the road that you begin to break out of the extremely dense pine forest into a slightly less dense pine forest.
Ooh.
Oh, you can see the sky over here. The trees are a little bit younger here, and the green space that comes in off the edge of the river is broader. There's more open meadows and that sort of thing in the area. The terrain also becomes a little more flat and less rocky, and you're able to travel more easily over the land. You think that you must be approaching the village of Junesburg, and as you're going, you notice that there's a number of small shrub-like, plant-like, pine, sorry, lost my description ability. There's small coniferous plants, like large shrubberies in this area that grow densely and seem to have berries all over them as well. your herbalist is able to identify them as juniper bushes. And as soon as you've made this identification, Carolyn says, start picking. Alright, everyone? Just fill your pockets up. Don't eat them. We'll see what kind they are later. Just fill all of your pockets. Fill your pockets. It'll pay for the lamp.
All right. Fill my pockets.
Okay. So is everybody picking them as you go?
Sure.
Alright. You travel closer and closer to Junesburg. Now, after a while you see a structure built ahead of you on the path as it becomes more like a trail. And there's a small house of a kind built next to the wagon ruts that have been ground down into the meadows. It's very tiny, like a lean-to. And you can see that there's a person there next to it. And the individual is wearing very good, very quality-looking leather armor with metal ribbing and metal studs. And additionally has a mace hanging on his belt. And is leaning against a tree right by the lean-to. Almost looks like they're dozing, or at least extremely bored. And you spot him first because you're ahead of the wagon on the horse, as usual. Brilliance. Are you ahead of the wagon right now too, or scouting at all?
Nope.
Alright.
I'm staying with the wagon and collecting juniper berries.
Because of the more open area, you're all able to see him, but you're within speaking range first, Brilliance. So,
All right.
If I notice him, I would like to try to keep an eye out for any other people who may or may not be hiding in the bushes.
What type of
Just
thing
in
is he?
case.
he appears to be a woodling like any other. You think that he is plant-based, that you can't immediately identify what kind. He's got spiky bristles along the sides of his arms, and a slightly green tint to his skin and hair.
He may very well be a pine tree, given
Very
the
well.
area.
Given the area. Do you want to talk to him?
Yeah, sure. What time of day is it? It's morning?
It's late afternoon when you reach this area.
Alright. Afternoon.
He kind of opens his eyes and blinks and looks over at you. Oh, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello. Gonna have to stop your wagon here. We need to look over its contents if you want to enter the village.
Well, very well.
Not very well, Grandma.
Why? What's the problem?
Well, what has he got to look over our wagon for?
I don't know. What do you have to look over the wagon for?
Grandma starts hobbling up. It's gonna take a little while. She's got arthritis. But we have to make sure that you aren't stealing anything.
Into the town.
Well, it's not into the town. It's from the area.
How would you know?
Well, we'll find it.
If it's been reported missing.
You have to make sure that you're not stealing the crops.
Which crops?
The berries.
Oh. That might. One moment, please.
Where are you stealing the crops? It's not stealing. It's not stealing to pick up things you find in the woods.
Maybe
Says
is
Carolyn.
the answer.
Trying
Maybe,
to narrow his eyes at you.
maybe accidentally we did do that.
Accidentally.
Well, yes. We didn't readily recognize them as a crop,
It's
necessarily.
not a crop if it's a bush in the woods, says Carolyn angrily.
Well, now to be fair, if they're raising it domestically, then it probably is still a crop, but not an easily recognizable crop.
Well, you're going to have to turn over whatever you've taken. You do not. You don't have to give back what you find on a bush in the woods, says Carolyn. The wagon is close enough now that you can join into this conversation if you want.
If it is this,
Start coming up.
if it is theirs,
What's wrong?
we should return it.
He wants to take all the berries we've picked.
Why?
He says they're crops.
Supposedly they're being raised domestically. We didn't see any farmhouse around there. Who's raising them domestically?
The villagers, we all do.
Ah,
Well, we have to travel through here, so we can't upset the whole village if they're reason.
Are you saying this to your mother?
Yes. Look, why don't we come to an agreement? We did do some labor in harvesting these. Why don't we make some sort of a trade? Our labor for a portion of the berries, and we'll give you over the majority of them.
You'll give us all the berries, but we'll give you free room and board in the town.
that should
All
work.
right.
Your mother looks annoyed. She takes you by the arm and she leans in. These things can be worth a lot of money. Very well.
We can't steal from the whole village that we're traveling through for the first time we meet.
I still don't see that stealing.
I agree with you, but if they think otherwise, we can't upset an entire village.
Alright.
All
so
of mine.
You start emptying your pockets.
Yeah.
Can I still have a look on your wagon in the spirit of good-natured friendliness?
Keeping in mind that it's our house and you're not to be too invasive, I suppose.
Just a glance, ma'am?
Suppose so. We really should do something more about marking that area if you're going to be raising them domestically.
We don't get many travelers.
I suppose that's fair.
And, I'm here.
So if anyone tries to steal them into town, you're well prepared.
What if they were coming out, too?
I suppose.
I mean, they'd have to circumnavigate the road if they wanted to miss me. And I mean, it's not much of a road, but it's probably the only proper trail through the area.
That might be true. But if they came through from the other direction, went through, there's no checkpoint on the other side.
But there is on the other side of town, where the
But-
road leaves.
But but if they came through your town going the other way, like past you, and then went through the field, and then kept going.
You're right. Yeah.
So if they found out, incidentally, that berries were your main crop, and then were capable of maliciously picking your berries, there's nothing to stop them.
Look, we didn't think about that.
I'm not critiquing you. I'm just saying that you may want to put up another checkpoint, which could also, incidentally, prevent future mistakes like this, where we just think they're a wild crop.
Right.
Right? All right then. Free advice.
The man takes a glance through your wagon. He doesn't touch anything, really. He doesn't go through your cupboards. But as he notices your eggy in its nest...
Oh, it's a fur.
He says, you're going to want to be careful. We've had some kidnappings in the village, specifically of eggs.
Oh,
Yeah.
care to elaborate?
I can only tell you that some eggs have gone missing. We sent out some trackers and huntsmen. We don't know the result yet.
Well, that's awful.
It's terrible. Do you think it's somebody? I mean, you said you don't really get travelers here.
Well, we do think it's a somebody, but whoever it is ran off into the forest. As I said, we sent some trackers after them, and hopefully they'll get found. Everybody's holding out, but I just think you should keep a weather eye.
Definitely will.
There you go.
Life in this village a little less.
It's alright. Can't blame a whole village for one person who's off in the woods now being chased. We're very good at looking after our own.
Right. Well, thank you for being so cooperative, even in spite of the
Confusion.
and you enjoy your stay. I can't come leave my post this second, but when I get there, you have my word that I'll explain what's gone on here and make sure that they give you some lodging in the town. Just have to wait a few hours before I can, leave my watch.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
All right.
Brilliant, fun, wonderful.
You just call me Spike.
Lovely to meet you, Spike.
Lovely.
Beyond impressive.
Spike shakes your hands too. And off you head past Spike's watch post towards the village of Junesburg. Now,
So named for their berries.
so named for their berries. You arrive in the town, and it's much smaller than Wonderfall. You see a few farms built close to what's left of the river.
Well, this is hardly a burg at all.
It's hardly a burg at all.
False advertising. I demand a refund.
To be fair, we
Give me
don't
back
have.
the berries.
To be fair, we don't have a waterfall anymore, so we can't really go criticizing other towns.
There's water. It falls. It counts.
There's a small dock, but you notice that their dock is dry right now. It wasn't built far enough into the river that now that the river's water level is lowered, that it's still really in the water in any way. There are a few boats that have been dragged up into the muck of the shore, but they're all little tiny sort of. Some of them are canoes and they're supposed to be dragged up anyway. There's also small sailboats and things that have been put onto logs.
Ooh.
But all of it very tiny. As I said, there's farms closer by the water. The town seems to be mostly centered around the mill. There's also one larger building in town that's next to what appears to be their grave sites. But the most interesting feature in the town is that on its north side, not far away from the tracks and trails of the houses, there is a walled area. A wall made of stacked stone and what appears to be mud has been built, and it's quite high. It's almost a 10-foot wall, and it covers a significant area of woodland, blocking it from view. It doesn't seem to be surrounding really anything. It looks like it's forest on the inside.
Walls are a bad sign.
It has a big gate, and you also notice that there's two armed individuals dressed in a similar fashion to Spike out in the woods who are guarding the gates of this compound.
Huh.
However, you don't go past that walled area as you head into the main village area. As you pass by the first few houses, some children come out excitedly, recognizing your cart as a peddler's wagon, which is a cause for general energy to sort of fill everybody. And you're chased by a small mob as you head towards the center of town. This is Carolyn's sort of favorite moment, and she comes out, she sits on top of the wagon and waves to everybody like a queen. That's right, that's what she does.
Little cupped hand.
She
Little
holds
old lively lady.
She holds the reins, even though she's not actually steering with them, since Brontes is leading the oxen, and just seems pleased. Your kids hop off the wagon to go and play with the other village youngsters, sort of in the general mob, talking excitedly.
I almost got eaten by spiders the other day.
No way! Awesome!
No, we ate the bag.
I have spider
He ate the bird back! Want to see my pants that are made of spider webs? Yeah, dude! Okay. Such are conversations that you hear in the mob of children. But in any case, you make your way towards the center of town. It's mostly just sort of a rundown, muddy area that is closest to the large building. By the time you get there, you have not just a few children, but Carolyn steps down to speak with the adults who have come over to see what there is for trade. She immediately is launching into seller mode, and Brontes begins to take care of the animals. Charm walks over to you two. All right, so we made it, and we're alive.
Successfully done.
Wasn't so bad.
It wasn't bad at all.
First leg over.
First leg done. So, do you want to see if they have a pub?
Yes. Very much so.
Alright.
Alright, let's go. Kids are fine. They'll be fine. Let's go.
Kids are playing with other kids. What a good place for
And
them.
again, what was that the guard said about...
Egg snatchers. Maybe you should take it around in a Snuggie or something with you.
I'll put it in the carrier.
There you go.
Okay. Charm goes and gets the egg basket. Puts it on her
Strap
back.
it in a bag or something. Keep it safe.
Alright.
I don't know. I'm not maternal.
Do you want to go with your sister to see if the town has a pub?
Yep.
Do you want to go with your
Oh,
sister?
Just hopping down off the horse. Which way to the pub?
Oh, come on. At least do your own horse.
Bugger. Alright.
Alright. So you stay to help Brontes take care of
Personally,
the
my
animals.
horse was still hitched to the back of the wagon.
Yeah, but probably could still use 10.
Alright, Old Spice. Alois doesn't like you very much anyway.
Alois likes me fine. You don't know from Alois. Alright.
Well, if there's a spot with grace,
Who's
I'll
daddy's
take
boy?
the horse down, but
It's actually just getting it food and water.
Who's daddy's precious
It's
friend?
not that long. You tend to the animals and the by the pub. If indeed there is one. Do you want to ask anyone, or you just want to wander and get the lay of the land?
Wandering might be fun. I might wander.
I guess. I mean, if we don't find anything right away, then I'll ask.
I'm very curious about the thing with walls. But it doesn't do anything to wander straight up and go to the door with walls and go, what's behind there? Let me see.
It's probably either protecting something or keeping something.
Well, it could be one of those places with a lordship or something.
Or
What if we
maybe-
see like a house inside the walls then?
I don't know.
What if it's a spirit?
Let's go ask.
Yay, let's go ask about the thing.
I mean, maybe they have a juniper spirit or something.
I don't know.
It could be.
I mean, we've got the river spirit after
Why don't we go have a chat?
Alright, let's go ask the gentleman guarding the door.
You can go with.
This is what I really want.
All three of you wander straight up to the door.
Let's go find out about that big thing they've got over
The
there.
Von Wonderfuls waste no time. Alright,
You want to go ask about the big thing?
do
Yes.
you want to do the asking?
Sure.
Or do you want to do
all. Brilliance likes to do that.
Just wander straight up.
it? Okay. Ugh. The obviously crystal woodling on the right sort of stands up straighter. Can I help you?
Hello there, chaps. What interesting thing is this?
This is where we grow the good juniper berries.
Is it?
Yeah.
Told you.
You were right. You knew. So this is sort of just like a...
It's a better breed in here.
Ah.
Yeah, better for flavoring things.
Alright.
We got just the right ones, getting ripened. Yeah. You here to trade for them?
Well, we might, but
We
that's more
might.
my mother's thing.
Yes, they sort of... They do the peddling thing. We were just very curious about sort of the fortification of it.
Are you peddlers then?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. We usually only get one peddler family through here.
Oh,
Well,
we're
we came
taking a
from-
detour from our usual route. Yeah.
We came from down the river.
But downriver, we usually get the Vandalors from upstream. Yeah, they're good people.
Well, with the
Haven't met
issues
him.
with the river, we're taking a different route just to see if we can see what's going on.
Oh, it's been giving us some terrible trouble. You know, to grow these berries, you need just the right moisture in the soil, get the right mix of flavors.
Mm.
But it's just it's been a hard time here. You know.
Yes.
We have a waterfall. Or
We
had
had-
a
Yes. we were doing a lot of waterfall-related things.
Are you just from Wonderfall?
Wonderfall, yes.
Yeah, I've heard of the village. I've never been, but
Oh, you should go sometime. It's lovely.
well, enjoy your stay in the town, man.
Oh, thank you very much.
And don't you try to get in here. We've got our eye on it.
We'll try to get in.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of thief issues around here?
You know, you'd be surprised. We've been having some trouble with it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. We get some.
Oh, that's terrible.
You know, it's not just people. It's not woodlings. Woodlings wouldn't do such a thing, but not like you and I.
Right.
But you know, sometimes it gets some goblins come in from the forest. And
Suppose that makes sense.
they'll climb over the walls. They got no scruples, those creatures. You know? And trolls, they don't even want them. They just break in because they see we've got a wall built.
I suppose it is terribly interesting.
We walked right over.
You know, we had the back wall all done. And a group of trolls came up, they smashed it right down. Because one of the rocks in the middle of the wall that we'd stacked up looked delicious to them.
Huh.
Yeah. Bastards. Smashed the whole thing. Took us years to build this wall.
When did that happen, you say?
Oh, that was a while back now.
Right.
Well, it's looking spiffy again.
That's why you gotta keep an eye out, though.
Ah.
Gnomes burrowed in one time. They use it to make alcohol.
Do they
They
really?
do.
Ah.
No tastes. It's better for seasoning venison.
Good to know.
Imagine you could probably make a wine out of it.
Probably. You can make a wine out of
They make
anything.
a spirit out of it. Something quite strong. I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Huh. Oh, thank you very much. One other thing we might ask, is there a pub around?
He directs you to somebody's house, who happens to also be the local brewer, whose dining room is also the local pub.
Well, there you go.
Alright.
Industrious person making use of their personal property.
Kitchen party.
Do you want to go over to that person's home?
Hells yes, we do.
It's not a home, it's a pub.
It's a pub. That's right. It's a public house. In the most literal sense.
I'll say thank you very much, and I'll introduce myself, and then I'll go.
Alright, you
Thank
do
you very,
so.
thank you very much.
Yeah, you
Brilliant,
shake
fun,
hands.
wonderful.
You
Lovely to
shake
meet you.
hands with everybody. And so you find the local pub, and you're able to have a seat and a drink. But you would need to trade for drinks. Do you have anything on you that you're trading, or do you want to go back to the wagon and grab something like food would be a general thing?
I
to
would
get?
tell fortunes.
You're going to tell fortunes in return? Okay. No, they're willing to accept that trade in return for beer.
My fortunes are accurate.
Yeah, they want to
I
know.
know they all say that.
They
Mine-
want to know the future. Sure.
That's probably worth a drink.
Yeah, worth a drink or two. And, yourself?
I'm not prepared to sing for my supper, so I will actually use money.
You don't have money. No such thing as money.
Oh, that's right,
You want to
too.
go get trade goods.
Yeah.
Food would be the general thing that you would trade.
Food for food.
Food for food. Well, I have this fish. Can I have some liquor?
Yeah,
Is that what you want to do?
pretty much.
Okay, you go get some spider's legs.
Here you go.
Actually, they'd be rotten by now. But you have stuff on the wagon.
We salted this icky meat. Eat it.
Nah! Get out of my pub! Alright. Anyway,
Salted this disgusting meat. You want it.
you want it.
I'll tell fortunes and look pretty.
Rose plucks some roses out of her hair and gives them to the lady of the house, who's quite pleased with this.
Gross ladies.
There you go. Now you've got an actual bouquet.
Okay.
You know, one of us really should get into flower.
Take that,
No
non-web.
kidding. Alright. And so it is that you all are able to have some drinks at the local house. So, nobody else is there, it's just you guys drinking together.
That's alright. Peddlers came into town, they asked about our wall, and then wait for the booze.
Now, you could talk to the lady of the house if you wanted.
I don't see why not.
If you want to ask her about anything in particular. 1 second. I have their names, but my computer turned off because you stole my power cord. So I have to let it boot back up.
Sorry, this speaker that drains the shit out of my battery.
It's like, does the opposite of a speaker.
The thing over there on the table drains the shit out of my battery.
Oh, my caps lock is on, that's why.
It's like when my thing said my password wasn't my password. I'm like, it's the only password I use, mofo, let me in.
There. Got it. Her name is Janica.
Oh. What is she?
She appears to be a mud spirit.
Woodling.
Woodland. That's what I meant to say.
I
The
gotcha.
mud woodland. A mudling. She seems to be some sort of thing, rock type
Lovely.
creature. She's a bit drippy, but you can't hold it against her.
Nah.
She seems like a nice lady.